Welcome. In front of me I have the brand new iPhone 14 Pro, and I'll go over unboxing along with a quick overview of this phone. So you can see that the 14 Pro is the one with the island, or however you want to call it. Just a fancy way of just continuing the notch, though even though I don't like it, I have to say they implemented it pretty damn well. Anyway, let's just pop it open. Now, probably to no surprise to anybody, you don't get a charger, you just get the phone and stickers along with a cable. Now, still no Type-C, because why? I'm kind of curious. No. Okay, so that's like a bigger middle finger. One side is Type-C, but the one that plugs into a phone is still their, what is it, Lightning or whatever the heck they're calling it. So yeah, fantastic. Anyway, I'll just rip this off. Now, at an angle, you can actually see how the cameras actually look like, or camera and sensors. So you can see they are separated, though once you turn on the device, from what I can see, you don't really get to see that. And now, going quickly into the specs, let's start with the display. So probably this is going to be one of the biggest screen to body ratios, or maybe only rivaled by the Pro Max. So you can see you have even bezels all around, which looks actually really clean, really nice. I still think it would look even nicer without this. You would have just completely unobstructed screen. That would have been, in my opinion, just a little bit better, but still it looks, I cannot deny it looks nice. Now, this display is a 6.1 inch display with a resolution of 1179 by 2556. So it's basically like little bit above 1080p display. It's not 1440p, but it's also not 1080p. It's like in between. Still, in terms of the size of the display to the actual resolution of it, it's pretty good. You're not going to be seeing many pixels right here, especially with this pixel density of 460, which is above average. Usually phones have about 400 pixels per inch. Now, on top of that, the display right here is the what they call LTPO. Let's just be honest, it's a Super Retina display OLED with 120 Hz refresh rate. That's basically its gimmick. You don't need to add a specific name to it, making it sound like it's a special snowflake in the desert. It's just basically an OLED display with 120 Hz refresh rate. That's the actual, just to boil it down to bare minimum info. Now, in terms of brightness right here, we have a typical brightness of about 1000 nits, and it apparently peaks at 2000 nits, which is insane. Anyway, now when it comes down to the actual screen to body ratio, we are looking at exactly 87%, which on the paper it doesn't sound so impressive. Phones get to above 90, but it still looks really nice, probably because everything is symmetrical right here. So my OCD is speaking to me. Now, moving over to the back, we have a triple camera setup, and I believe unlike before, we do have an upgrade in camera. So we have a 48 megapixel wide sensor instead of the 12 that was previously here, and then we have a continuation of the previous model, which is 12 megapixel telephoto and 12 megapixel ultra wide. So nothing really changed here, along with a time of flight depth sensor, or yeah, it's basically a LiDAR depth sensor. So those are the cameras. I'm not really going to go over the camera tests right here, so if you're really interested to see how they perform, then sorry, I'm not going to be doing it. Hopefully someone else will be doing it in the company, but obviously it's an iPhone. It will be taking pretty decent photos, especially with the camera bump to 48 megapixels. It should still perform, it should perform even better now than it did before. And unlike the phone design, which is relatively the same over the past 5 years now, the camera will usually gets improved the quality of the photos, even though their sensors are like at 12 megapixels, or where, the photos were still rivaling things like a Samsung Galaxy S22's Ultras and stuff like that. So they weren't necessarily the highest resolution, but the actual quality of the photo, the information that was in there, was still top notch. And here with the bump, I assume it will be now rivaling the S22 Ultra with the actual resolution as well now. So should be much more detail in the photo now. Anyway, now when it comes down to the internals, which is probably one of those controversial things with the new iPhones, this one is the one that is actually packing the new processor, the Bionic A16 chip. So I have no clue how it performs. I've heard some rumors that it sometimes underperforms in terms of like comparing it to the A15. Though take that with a grain of salt. Honestly, I kind of doubt it, but it's something that you might want to check out, because if you're looking for raw performance, and if those leaks or whatever like rumors were correct, then that would mean that maybe the A15, which would be for instance the iPhone 14 Plus, or even the 13s, all of the 13s might be faster in certain things. Though, like I said, keep that with a grain of salt. So now moving over to the actual additional internals, we have obviously multiple different versions of storage, and in terms of RAM, there is only one. Apple never gave you a choice, so go F yourself if you want to, I don't know, pick. But the specific one that I have right here has, if it even matters, oh, it's a 1 terabyte, okay. So yeah, 1 terabyte of storage, the highest version. Now at the lowest end, which obviously also will be the cheapest end, is the 128 gigs of storage, and 256, 512, and 1 terabyte. Obviously, if you need to record like at 4K, have like super smooth footages, and you tend to do that quite often, probably 1 terabyte would be something that you want to pick. But for typical user, probably 128 or 256 should be good enough. It's already plenty enough storage for most of us. So yeah, if you know that you don't need more, I don't think there's a reason to go higher. Now, what else is there to mention? At the front, we have this, I don't know how to call it, hole punch camera, island, whatever you want to classify it as now. We have a camera in there, and that camera is a 12 megapixel wide sensor. And obviously we have some kind of 3D depth biometric sensors, and with the front facing cameras, we can record at 4K up to 60 frames, which is pretty nice. And obviously 120, same thing, even with 120 Hertz, though I think that might be slow motion. Now with the back cameras, when it comes down to footages, just video, again 4K, 60 frames is the highest resolution and frame rate that you can pick. And if you want to go down again to 1080p, you can record at again 60, 120, 240. 240 is most certainly a slow motion. I assume 120 is probably as well. And there's also some cinematic mode, but that records at 4K 30 or 24 max. So now moving on to probably another controversial thing. Now you'll probably realize I do have a SIM tray right here. From what I've heard, US will not have this. Sorry, you get to be forced into using eSIM, apparently. But for some reason, Europe gets SIM tray. So hell yeah, go me. I can actually pop in a SIM card in here. Obviously, it's probably no big deal to majority of you. All you need to do is just go talk to your provider, ask them for eSIM instead of a normal SIM. They give you like a QR code or something like that. You pop it in and that's it. So it doesn't really change much. And a couple last things to mention here. Battery is 3200, so actually pretty small for a phone that is this size. Now it's not the smallest phone. It's wide, most certainly. And in terms of height, it's I would say just kind of average iPhone height, but a little bit shorter than most of Android devices. But still, the phone has some weight to it and size, and that battery just seems to be quite small for weight and size of this device. And in terms of charging, it's advertised that it will charge to 50% in 30 minutes. Now we also have apparently wireless charging at 15 watts, so the MagSafe, though I'm kind of curious, will it work with my normal charger that is right here? Come on. Apparently not. Okay. So I guess it doesn't work with normal Qi chargers, though I might be wrong and just can't locate the pad. And if you're wondering what the heck am I talking about, can't locate a pad, I'm gonna zoom out just so you can kind of get a look at what I'm dealing here with. So I have literally under the desk a charging pad right here. So if I place my phone, oh, come on, don't do me like that. There we go. So you can see it charges, but when I place the iPhone, oh no, never mind. There we go. Now it starts charging. Okay, so to finish this off, we have a couple just last little things to mention, like colors. So we have space black, silver, gold, and deep purple, which I think this is the deep purple, if I'm correct. Yep, this is the deep purple. So if you're wondering how that looks like, it's quite hard to get it, but that would probably be like the color right here. Now, the reason why I'm basically pointing a region is because the way light reflects from it and makes it a little bit lighter in certain areas on the camera, but the uniform color that I get to see in person is just primarily something along this shade right here. No matter what the actual angle I look at it, it just, the lighting and camera, how it picks up, differs. And also, one thing to mention, the stainless steel, I think that's stainless steel that goes around, is also in this purple color, though on the camera it almost looks like it's black, ceramic black. It's closer to purplish. I don't know how to really showcase this, but yeah, it obviously mirrors the color of the back, but in metallic right here. It looks nice. So anyway, with that being said, there's not much more to say about this device. I wasn't planning to do any kind of setup, that will come later. So if you're interested about the island, obviously there are already people that did more comprehensive video about this. I'll probably touch upon it in a separate video, but for this, that would be over. So anyway, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.